Hey, what's up guys, it's Bridget. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having an awesome day and I hope you had an awesome Christmas. And today we're throwing it back to an awesome classic video. So back in April, I did my first ever makeup I love but never use video, and since then I've seen a lot of other people do it. So today we're doing part 3 of makeup that I love dearly and I think is great quality, but for one reason or another, I don't reach for. As always, you guys, all makeup on this channel is cruelty free, and so is everything I'm mentioning in today's video. And also, little disclaimer, just because I don't use it that much, maybe I'll reach for it once in a while, or I have to force myself to use it, doesn't mean I don't like these products, so I do. And if there's anything in here that you use all the time, please don't be offended if I don't use it constantly. So let's get started with the first thing, which is the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palettes. I was in love with this thing when I finally got it. Like, I got it like a year after everybody else did. I finally broke down and bought it because everybody talked about it, and it is fantastic, just like they say. But it's just so big. Like, this is like the biggest one of all my palettes that it goes underneath of stuff and I never pick it up. Like, it's too big and bulky. Like, if you don't have that many eyeshadow palettes, you'll probably reach for this all the time. It's fantastic quality. But it's just that a lot of the colors are similar and it's so big under there that I don't really think to reach for it that often because it's like underneath a whole bunch of palettes. And it's really big and bulky, so that's why I don't reach for it that much. And also, there's nothing in here that, like, unless I want to use Morphe shadows, there's nothing in here that I'm like, let's do this kind of look today. Because it's all just kind of neutrals and warm tones, which I have in a lot of other palettes, which are easier for me to get to. So I think that's the main reason why I don't use this palette that much. But I do really like the quality of it, and it's fantastic. And it's really thin, so I don't think I mind how big it is too much. It's just one of those things that I just don't reach for. Next up is the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. I almost decluttered this in my last makeup declutter because I don't reach for it whatsoever. And I also don't like that it's kind of weak magnets right here on this little metal container. But it's just super cute and I love the quality of it. I think it's super adorable and it smells great. But I just don't reach for it. Like, the color scheme is very underwhelming. Let's be honest, that's kind of just like, okay, if I put my finger over this purple, it kind of looks like that peach palette a little bit. So it's not anything exciting, but it's super cute, and I'm like, if I ever travel, and I travel like twice a year for like one night, I'll need this palette. I know I don't, but it's just super cute, and I'm going to keep it anyways. Next up is the Ofra Glow Up palette. I used this a lot when I first got it, and I did use this yesterday, but I had to force myself to use it, and that's what really made me want to do today's video, is like, I'm forcing myself to use things I don't use very often, and I wonder why certain things I don't use. I think this is because it's expensive, rather than just getting like a single Ofra highlighter, which is going to last you a really long time. This is the Glow Up palette. It comes with a huge pan, and then these. I don't like the composition of it, where it's not like symmetrical or even, like it's really weirdly placed in here. I don't like that whatsoever. But the quality of Ofra shadows, I mean, highlighters is just so good. I could depot these, but this is not the size of anything else I would have in my Z palette. So either way, it would be uneven. But I don't know. I think because it is just such a big highlighter palette that I'm used to reaching for singles. So most of the time I reach for single shadows or highlighters. Why do I keep saying shadows? Most of the time I reach for single highlighters and I don't reach for the palette. So I think that's why. Also, because the only like white bright thing in here is this little sliver out of here, and these two are too dark on me. So I think that's the main reason. But overall, I think it's just big and I reach for single highlighters more. Next up is One Juvia's Place palette. There's another one I was thinking of too that I don't use very often, but I just got it, so I'm giving myself a chance to use it. But the Sahara 2 palette I just recently got, and I used it once. I don't think I get much use out of it. The color scheme doesn't really speak to me, but I got it because it was on sale. But the one that I have and I was excited for, and I got scammed the first time I bought one because I bought it used and it was a fake. But then I got the real one, and I still don't really, I don't love it. This is the Saharan palette by Juvia's Place. The Saharan and the Saharan 2, I don't know what it is about it, but they're just not my favorite Juvia's Place palettes. Something about this, I'm like, oh, I wanted to try the real one, see how the real quality is. The quality is good. This does nothing for me. Like, if you took away this bright packaging, I think this orange would stand out, and this pink, because this pink is absolutely gorgeous. Like, let's give you a swatch right here. That's beautiful pink. I don't know, something about this color scheme as a whole doesn't do it for me. It could be the packaging throwing me off. But this is just one I never reach for. Like, there's never a day where I'm like, I need any of these colors. other than this pink. So I don't know. I love Juvia's Place. I treasure Juvia's Place. I have 2 more Juvia's Place palettes that I was missing on the way here from that Christmas sale they did half off. But this one, to me, I never want to use it. Never. Next up is my Jeffree Star Cosmetics Skin Frost. I use Ice Cold, but then the rest of them I don't really reach for. I kind of think they've been replaced by Ofra a little bit. This is one that I absolutely adore, and it is Uranus. I'm not going to say it right. This is the Mandy MUA collab, so this isn't coming back, so I'm going to keep holding on to it forever, but, like, I love it. It's a fantastic, beautiful, soft, like, this doesn't get hard pan, like, this is just a gorgeous, soft, buttery, delicious highlighter, but I don't find myself reaching for them. I think because these are bigger, they just take up a lot more space, and they take up, like, a lot width. Like, I'm not complaining about how much size you get. It's a lot of highlighter. It's going to last you a really long time. But I think I just stack these on top of each other. I don't really reach for them. So, I don't know. I'm reaching for Ofra highlighters more and more these days, but Ice Cold is still used quite often. Next up is a gorgeous foundation that I adore. The foundation coverage and finish is absolutely stunning. And the long wearing test, like, everything about it is great except that shade range. And this is the Beauty Blender foundation. This is the Bounce foundation. There's new, like, a foam one out or something like that. It's beautiful, and I'd wear it constantly if it was my shade, but this is just a bit too orange for me. It was fine in the summertime, like I could get away with it, kind of blending it down my neck. It was like a little bit too dark for me, but it worked. And now that summertime's over and it's a little more wintry, I'm starting to get slightly more pale, and this just is too dark for me at this point. I'm gonna keep it because it's fantastic. It's absolutely beautiful, and if I get a tan for some reason, like I go outside a lot, or summertime comes around next year, I want to use this because it's so good. It's so pretty. Like, if they have this in your shade that matches you really well, pick it up 100%. It's beautiful. So next up is the Beauty Bakery Flower Setting Powder. I wanted to love this so much, and I do love it. That's why it's in this video. It's just, I can't use it. I used it in a couple videos a while back, and you guys pointed out, like, how yellow it looked on me. Like, I said in that video I knew it was yellow on me, but y'all were like, it's really too yellow for you. It's just, this is the translucent setting powder, and it's absolutely stark yellow on me. There are 3 shades of this. This is the translucent one, so it's like the lightest one they have, and it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Like, on camera, it looks stunning. It's a beautiful color. It looks translucent. But in person, it's just like a banana in here. Like, it's super yellow. And since I bought this online, I had no idea translucent meant yellow. Like, if you see this yellow on this highlighter, that's the yellow this powder is. And I can't use it on my face because I have very cool toned skin and I don't need the yellow. But the finish, and it's so finely built and it's so beautiful. I'm like, maybe if I set my under eyes with a lighter powder and then went over this with the rest of my face, maybe it'd even out. I don't know. I want to still use this because it's very good quality, but it's just not a match for me. And since we picked it up, let's talk about the Ciate London Solstice Highlighter. I gave a bunch of these away to you guys if you bought something off my Poshmark. So if you got one, congratulations, they're a great highlighter. But these, I don't know, this is Solstice, and I think because the packaging is yellow, it makes me think it's a yellow highlighter. But it's a pink. It has glitters in it, but it's not like a lot of glitter, so I still use it quite a bit. It's a very, very pretty highlight, and I enjoy it. It's kind of like a more sparkly princess cut from Jeffree Star with like a couple like bright pink glitters in it. It's great, but I think because this is a little bit taller than my normal blushes and stuff that this kind of compact fits in, I tend to put this in another drawer, not with my highlighters. My highlighter contour drawer and blush drawer is so full that this and a couple other ones get stuck into the other Alex drawer and they get forgotten about. So I forget that I have this so often. It's not in like my ready to go area, so I need to rearrange my makeup and put everything together properly. I just need the space for it because it's a beautiful highlight. I just figured I have it. Next up is the Pinky Rose Cosmetics Bright Lights palette. I was so hyped to buy this, and I was so hyped when I did the video reviewing this, and it's fantastic quality. I'm not really a big fan of the pressed glitters in here. There's only 3 of them though. The rest of these mattes are so pigmented. They're so beautiful. These are such good quality shadows. Like, pigmentation out the wazoo with this thing. It's fantastic. But I never reached for it because I think it being a rainbow color scheme, I know I'd have to dip into more than one palette, and a lot of the times when I do my makeup for the day, I'm running behind on stuff and I need to just dip into one palette and go. Also, there's not one specific color in here other than that lime green that I would think I would need from this palette because I have a lot of other colorful palettes. So there's nothing in this palette specifically that I would need from this palette that I don't have in another palette. This is just really easy to work with and it's really good. I would use it a ton for more Halloween looks and stuff like that. Maybe a really cool Valentine's Day look with this pink. But for some reason, I have other colorful palettes that I reach for a cohesive look. Not I'll pull one or two colors out of another palette, if that makes sense. Like, I don't dip into multiple palettes usually. Just because it's easier for me to do a tutorial using one palette that you guys can follow along with, instead of needing 2 or 3 palettes. Next up is the NYX Proof It Waterproof Eyelid Primer. It's a fantastic eyelid primer. I got this from CVS a while back. It is just a clear little wand, and then you can put the clear, you can't even see that, why am I showing it to you, eyeshadow primer on your lid. The thing is, it smells really strong. Like, it smells pretty chemically. It kind of smells like lash glue or like a adhesive of some sort. It's not even the scent that I think deters me from using this. It's that once it dries, it's kind of sticky. And I know it's kind of be like a waterproof thing. When you put powder on top of it, it's going to kind of lock it on your skin. I don't find myself needing a waterproof eyelid primer ever. I would just use my concealer as an eyelid primer, or just like a primer potion from Urban Decay. I don't find myself needing waterproof eyelid primer very often. And if I'm going out in the rain and my eyeshadow gets messed up, the rest of my face will be messed up too. I'm not really worried about my eyelid too much. So for some reason, I just find this a little bit unnecessary, but it is a good product. Like, if I ever thought it was going to be raining and I was going to waterproof my entire face, I'd probably use it. But since I melt in the rain, I try to avoid it. I don't think I need this. And lastly is a product I love dearly. It is so good quality. Like, the quality is top notch. But I feel like if I use it on my Instagram for a mini tutorial, or if I'm wearing it on my eyes and I put it in the description box, someone's gonna be mad at me, so I avoid it. And I know it's a stupid reason not to use makeup that I already own. Trust me, I know how dumb that is. Like, if I've already bought it before any like drama happened, I should use it. I mean, I spent my money on it. And this is the Life's a Drag palette by Lunar Beauty. For some reason, like, the flack around it just puts like a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. Like, it's a fantastic palette. Like, my review of this shows you it is so good. Like, it's not the most long wearing palette in the world, but it is really good quality. Like, these are so good. This is one of my favorite eyeshadows. This had a single, I'd probably still buy it even if I got in trouble for it, because it's just so pretty. But every time I think about using this palette, I'm like, it's a really good palette, but if I link it, someone's gonna say something that's gonna irritate me. And I think that just puts a little bit like a sour taste in my mouth about it. But I do love it, so I should use it more on days where I'm not filming, because it is great quality, regardless of drama, you know? Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment down below something you love but never use. I think that's something that's really like a person-to-person basis. Like, some people love things and never use them, and other people use them constantly but don't use other things. So it's really interesting. Please let me know something down below that you love but don't use. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I will see you in the next one. I put a video every single freaking day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.